stability in the suitable economic growth, implemented laws and political reform of financial sector to create employment, create and eradicate poverty. The ministry aided further expectations to consolidate monetary and financial policies towards promoting investment, broader Namibia participation in the national economy and a public procurement and goods and services. Honorable First Vice Chairperson, honorable members, on top of the fourth mandate, the Ministry of Finance, I would like to highlight the following. Recent extension of a tax threshold from 50,000 to 100,000 per year result in a forced increase to all sorts of taxations of other sorts of communities. As paragraph 9 on the page 4 of the budget statement of Honorable Safundu, Minister of Finance, the diamond took a dip on the international stage aggraved by the questionable Namibia debit left on 18 January 2025. Nevertheless, the continued weakness of the diamond sector in the subsequent advance impact of domestic activities remain a key source of vulnerability. Concern about the government minority shareholders instead of the ownership of our immense deposit of natural resources severely impact natural budgetment in a despite outcome therefore represent of the GDP. Furthermore, as per paragraph 23, page 7 and 8 of the Minister's budget, stated the national budget focus on areas of economic development, social protection programs, youth empowerment, and food production. All these areas could be addressed with ease in a pure concern of the ownership of our natural resources was in the other way around. I am calling to the Minister of Finance to, as the matter of urgency and importance, to address this subject of ownership of our natural wealth in close cooperation of the Minister, Ministry, agency, organizations, state-owned enterprises. We, with increased tariff hikes for most basic commodities like water and electricity, are surprised to the fifth of the improved living condition of our poor people on the ground level. Moreover, the rural constituency. Budget cuts must be strategic in natural based and strategic organized outcomes. In the drive to do so, stock taking of the providing budget need to be done. What was the budget for? What is achieved? Why was it not achieved? Why was it be rectified? Honorable First Vice Chairperson, honorable members, with the application of the budget cut, following key areas but not limit needs to be taken in account, especially the budget cut for the strategic aim in recapturing and retaining control such key sectors is the mining, agriculture, and emergency new industries like gas, oil, and hydrogen, investing in the providing and mitigating resources transparency, job creation through industrial policies by encouraging the promoting domestic manufacturing initiative and building of tourism and new hydrogen in technology industries, improve regional and collective, the closed loopholes within a framework in doing taxing and ultimate weighting of the crackdown of tax evasion in illegal financial deficits, promote agriculture recovery by investment in a drought recited initiative programs and implemented small-scale farmers, support subsidies coupled with training aimed and sustainable.
Remember, the term
We was not discussed at the time.
Honorable Abuskasmi, can you just sit down for a while?
We were, Honorable Vice
Can
President,
you just sit
we
down
was
for a
not
while?
discussing the time.
Just sit down for a while. I want to see whether there is other people who want to also participate on the vote, and then I will give you a second chance to round off. Any further discussion? Honorable Lugayase?
Honorable First Vice Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council, honorable members, I rise today to make a contribution on this important bill, the Finance Bill, Bill 9 of the Appropriation Bill, which pertain to the Ministry of Finance and Social Grant Management. As the budget is 14 billion, so you will find that this budget, 7.2 billion is earmarked for social grants. And when we look into our outcry, we will find that this amount is not enough to cover our social grants, as we have a lot of pending people to be approved, especially those who have applied to receive grants. In our constituencies, you will find that through the Ministry of Gender, when they were still registering, there is a number of applications which was with the ministry, which currently they are speeding up to be handed over, as this ministry, especially the management of grants, have moved from gender to the Ministry of Finance. We therefore call the Ministry of Finance to speed up the implementation of the shifting of these two entities which is going to the Ministry of Finance. Honorable members, I rise again on the issue of procurement. Procurement is critical as it's with the Ministry of Finance. You will find that the issue there, especially when we have in our region the exemption of some small procurement system which is tender, where local materials need to be sourced from the region, and those local materials are not, the people who are producing or who are offering don't have the right registration and proper, like when we said we want maybe to buy goods for a project for vulnerable group or for any, you will find that you will require the producer to have a registration certificate, while in our communal areas where we have these goods, there is no such a registration. Therefore, we request the ministry concerned, when they see the application from regions and it's valid, please to consider it in time so that this money allocated to the ministry is implemented on time. With these few words, I so submit. I thank you, honorable members, honorable First Vice Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council.
Thank you, Honorable Gasi. Any further discussion? Kwoko?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable First Vice Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council. I arise just to add what the other previous speaker have said, that in our constituencies, there is people who was registered with the Ministry of Gender. As per the information, we were informed that that function will be shifted to the Ministry of Finance, and we just here to, as we see the location with the 14 billion, it might cater the needs of the vulnerable people, at least to speed up to receive those grants, because people are in poverty, and some of these grants, it will come and assist, being school uniforms to buy for their children, or to depend to those grants in all means. So I'm just requesting or amend what the Honorable Kaisi have said, that the Ministry of Finance to speed up. And also again, in the same vein, the the old age pension, they are also in the Ministry of Finance. There is some, through our constituency offices, we requested places to come pay points for a long time now, around 5 to 6 years, because some of the places are far from each other, so the old people or disabled people to reach the other places or pay points, it's far. So far the Ministry of Gender, maybe they were in process, but also in the same vein, we are requesting that countrywide, wherever such pay point was requested, it needs to be considered in a due time or as soonest, so that at least we can assist those people. Sometimes when those people, they come to the next pay point, those paymasters are already gone. So they have to travel to the next town or to the next, another further next pay point, which is also a problem. Therefore, I'm requesting, especially in Kunene region, where those mountains, where there's no transport, there's no enough transport there, it have to be considered as a matter of an urgent. So the other thing also is the program of Ovatpe over Chimba. I also informed that it is in process to be shifted to the Ministry of Finance. This program, those people, they receive their food after 4 months. And they are the most marginalized, they are the most problem who does not have any means of living. But yet, they have to be considered to receive food after 4 months. But the normal drought is each and every month. So I think the Ministry of Finance have to consider this as an urgent, because now some of us, being a councillor, I have to consider of maybe to have food from the drought to assist them, which is also not good. So, and also the other thing is that this program, at least, the program is run from Windhoek here. It has to be decentralized to the region and to the constituency, so that the constituency can run the program as it is run, unlike the drought relief program. So, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable First Vice Chairperson, and Honorable Members, I'm requesting that the Ministry of Finance have to look at the issue and the problem of the Ovatpe Chamber, at least that program to be run or to be shifted to the constituency level. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Abraham?
Yes, thank you very much. First Vice Chairperson of the whole committee. It's like that. Let me go ahead. Honorable First Vice, honorable members, I'm rise again to join my colleagues to contribute to the vote under discussions, finance, and welfare. A very important part as added to the Ministry of Finance, the social welfare of the Namibian citizens. On the welfare, we have two groups: old age, people living with a disability, Namibian child living with a disability, and then orphan child, and the child with parent without no income. Yes, we know that the government is taking care of those three groups, but we still had a long list in Namibia of the children those are born by the Namibian people without any income. But to us, we understand that such an amount the government gives to the child is to take care of them during their studying time. Special for schoolwear, bags, whatever, to allow the kids to participate on other school activity. But those children left behind, honorable members, through speaking is a disaster. When you visit certain schools, it is those children you found them with very torn schoolwear, any older school bags, because their parents, they are not having any income or any other means to get for them the new schoolwear, or either their children to participate on other school activity where money is needed. Still, we urge the ministry, especially Minister of Finance, since they managed well during the COVID, to allocate Namibians, those are not employed, with 750, and they did it positively. We know the minister again, we appeal to them to make sure that such a list of Namibian child still living under poverty or either attending schools with those, what I mentioned earlier, torn school wares, old school bags, and so on, to be attended to, so that their parents can afford to provide their children with such a better thing, so that they are looking better at the school ground. With that, so I submit and I move.
Thank you. Honorable Kalangominya.
Yeah, thank you very much, my honorable Vice Chairperson, as Chairperson of first Vice Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council. Thank you very much. I was just out now. The English is just starting to come back. No, we are at the Ministry of Finance. And really, my concern is really with revenue collection. And I have said it, and I will always say it, so that when I need to come back or not to come back, the issue of tax is, I have said it always, the formal sector is really contributing there. And I have said to the honorable members, I don't know whether they have calculated it or not. We are paying 35% tax from whatever we are getting from the National Council. 35%. That is what you members sitting here are paying. The other people that are contributing today, farmers today, when you are, there is nothing we have said even to Her Excellency during the State of the Nation address, and she also agrees to it. For farming in Namibia to prosper, we need to be subsidized. But currently now, farmers are not subsidized at all. But for every income that a farmer is getting, there is tax on it. Then now you wonder, me standing here, I'm paying 35% on my allowance that I'm getting from the National Council. Me standing here, I'm paying every cent from whatever subsistence farming or whatever farming that I'm doing, and I'm carrying the Namibian economy. When we go to the fishing sector, their contribution is less than what the formal sector is contributing. The retail sector, their contribution is less than what the farming communities are contributing, and the formal sector. The extractive industry, mining and the rest, are less than the formal sector and the farming community. What is it that we have done wrong for us as farmers to be heavily, maybe victimized, that is the right word in English, victimized by NAMRA? Tomorrow I will say it's because who is in the formal farming sector is particular tribes and tribes. Tomorrow you will accuse me of being tribalist. But I cannot see why should I be taxed the way I'm taxed as a farmer. Why should that happen? If there were mistakes within what happened, maybe there were people that have done wrong with NAMRA, let them carry whatever they have done. That the farming community not be victimized because we are farmers. No. Farmers need subsidy so that we can also survive. Today, there is no restocking, there is nothing. But we are paying for whatever we are delivering or producing. And then the other question is, the time is fine. The other question is, the state-owned enterprises, with their heavy CEO receiving the biggest packages and whatever and whatever. What is it that they are contributing to the economy of this country or to the GDP? How many state enterprises does declare dividends or did declare dividends to the state during the last financial year? Can we have that list? Because we have more than 90 state-owned enterprises. But how many did declare dividends to the state? The issue of, what is it? The repo rate. Some of the people could not even afford their own houses because of the repo rate. Because these things are coming in, and because it's what is it? It's financials. We have to do it and to go and see to it that we are not in financial crisis as a country. But these repo rate things is also affecting the ordinary working class. Because your house was in 6,000, now you have to pay 7,000 per month, which you did not even plan. At the end of the day, where are you as a human being? So when we are doing all these things, my Honorable Vice Chairperson, Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council, the Ministry of Finance should come back to us and sit around the table and see, so that we can tackle bread and butter issues, because there is a lot that we need to discuss with the Ministry of Finance for us really to see the rise of the sun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I nearly said time up, but I could see that you are about to finish. Honorable Utinga.
Thank you, First Vice Chairperson of the whole Council and the members, beloved House. I will also concur with the social grants. I have just very short brief on that. And I just want to find out, the people are saying the council is doing nothing regarding this issue of the seasonal grants. First of all, I want to know, are there any notification of receiving that applications for Tabeb constituency? Even they sent us some list, there's no name of that constituency up here on that list. And up to now, no one has received accordingly. And people are crying, like the previous speaker saying, every day about this issue and blame the councillors. Please, the administrators of the financing department, come back to the constituency so that we can give feedback to our people suffering from those. Thank you, my chair. Thank you, the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Any further discussions? Honorable Abuskakli, can continue.
Thank you, my first Vice Chairperson, to give me the special moment. Honorable First Vice Chairperson, honorable members, renegotiation mining sector, fishing and other resources industries which will be increase government control or stake, rise royalty of local processing, ensure value additional locally, promote and encourage joint venture with local companies, hands-on auditing, oversight strip, luxury expenses and debit services policies. Honorable First Vice Chairperson, honorable members. Budget cut alone on ministerial and administrators' expenses does not lessen on the pressure of the national budget, but the economical approach aimed to generation economic welfare and answer of prosperity, therefore well-calculated balance need to be applied. Reduced budget without poverty in a nation will be meaningless and to the end of the day. Therefore, we as members of the whole House, as a matter of importance, need to jealous safeguard our individual and collective integrity and pride when dealing with issues like finances that has to do with the bread and butter issue of our nation and a sustainable welfare of presenting the future generation of our country. In conclusion, when a current cut of the US aid in the health sector with reference of HIV and AIDS does the current spending of millions of dollars in commemoration, health holidays, states and official funerals and luxury occasions such as workshops in Swakop approval in towns of high S&T rates justify in respect of budget spending of expenses of the pressure of socio-economic challenges. Hunting our people on the ground, coupled with foreign government debts, in this practice called viable fiscal discipline. I don't think so. Let us do justice to our people. Honorable Vice Chairperson, we have add up to Honorable Kasunguminya. What he said just on the tax of the farmers, he must just include it that all fuel prices, every liter of fuel is taxed by 38%. From that, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Babuska. Any further discussion? Any objection? Any objection, members? I see none. Agreed to? I should now put vote 04. Sorry. Auditor General with an amount of 131,670,000 Namibian dollars. Any discussion? Honorable Gambrute and then Honorable Kalangominya. Not order.
All right. Actually funny because it rarely happens to me. Thank you, Honorable First Vice Chairperson of the Committee of the Whole Council. I have a very short contribution, something that I have spoken about also during discussions the previous years. And if I can recount, I think since 2022, after we have started to work on the audited reports of the different municipalities and regional councils. Now, being a member of the committee, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts and Economy,